Excuses don't matter. Results do. What's up, you guys? Sage here. As you can see, the new backdrop and hence the shorts not working or not coming out. But try to make sure that these come out and they come out in a timely manner. Make sure that Monday, Wednesday, Friday is still getting covered in the meantime until we can get up to full scale production. But basically, yeah, the thing that was the reason for uh, the 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 weirdness with Wednesday's video. Yeah, with Wednesday's video is that I was moving and we're moving. The whole family moved out. We're in PE now. We're no longer living in dispatches like between PE and Utnik. No longer living there. And we moved this side, but at the same time, exams are going on, you know? So I was writing on Wednesday as well. I was writing a math test. Tuesday, I'm doing business. Friday, it's accounting, So I think it's a very timely and very seasonal. It is correct to the moment to speak about the fact that excuses don't matter. At the end of the day, you don't want to be the person who. I mean, what do excuses do for you anyway? They give you the respect without getting the result anyway. Like, imagine being the person. You can either be the guy who does it anyway and gets the result anyway, despite all the reasons that you could have not, or you can be the guy that doesn't get the result and people are like, oh no, no, no. This is best case scenario is that people say, oh no, 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 but they had an excuse. That's it. That's all excuses do for you. Is you're hoping people understand why you're not where you're supposed to be or doing what you're supposed to be doing. And so regardless of what the circumstance may be, regardless of what the situation may be, the excuses will never matter. Only the results will. Hence me getting it in where I can fit it in, trying to figure this out. The Wi-Fi is down, so that's why the Wi-Fi is going to be down for like 31 days. So that's going to be interesting to navigate around and see how I continue to, for example, get that schoolwork done, work on assignments, all that good stuff. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting journey overall. But at the end of the day, we're going to get those things done because we have to get them done because what matters to us more than people respecting us for having the capability to get the result, what matters more than the respect of the masses, trying to demand respect from the masses is a fool's errand. And that's what excuses essentially are, is trying to demand respect from the masses regardless of not having the result. And so forget the masses, forget their respect. We only care about the respect of the select few people that we respect, and in working towards achieving things and perhaps earning that respect will be the path that leads to us actually executing regardless of what may be going on, and hopefully, if there's anything you take away from this as a viewer, is that regardless of what may be going on, just get it done. Just do it, you know. We all understand it's not easy, but life isn't easy, nor is it meant to be. It's not meant to be easy at all. It's meant to be an interesting journey, a roller coaster, ups and downs. No good stories start with, yeah, everything was going fine, and then continue to say, and then everything went fine, and at the end, well, everything was fine. No one watches that movie, no one reads that book, no one listens to a person telling that story, because there is no glory without risk. There's no story without risk, no glory without the guts to face that risk and continue to press on anyway. Because win, lose, or draw, the story that you leave with at the end of it. I was saying this to my dad as we were like packing, figuring things out. We had to move up at like the very last day of the month. At the same time, the next people are trying to move in, or it didn't really work out that way, but the pressure that was being put on by the real estate agent from the house that we were leaving was as if the second we move out, they're also going to move in. But they just wanted to have everything prepared, etc. Mind you, that day it's also raining as well, and that's the same day that I was writing the math test. So all this is happening all at the same time, and eventually, of course, it all works out. It always does. But at the time, we're going through this, and me and dad are in the back of the bucky, and we're putting on the canopy because obviously it's raining, and so we just want to protect the things that we can from the elements, etc. And as we're tying this in, and it's like a struggle. It's like, damn, the time is like 2:30 right now. We're gonna have to do this, and this, and we ended up finishing that night around 12ish. But in the midst of us tying that thing, I'm busy twisting something one way, he's twisting something else the other way, and we're trying to put this canopy on as quickly as we possibly can. And he says something to the effect of this one's gonna be a doozy. This one's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight in terms of time wise, all that good stuff. And at the time, we were actually moving the stuff not directly to the house. We were moving it to someone else's house because we hadn't got the keys to the house yet, even. And it's raining, and we have to move up by a certain. So all of this is happening all at the same time. And in the midst of this all happening, we're there twisting, twisting, twisting. He says, "Man, this is gonna be a tight one, bro." Uh, he's like, there's a lot of figuring out that we're gonna have to do." And I said, "Yeah, but man, the story that's going to come out of this is going to be epic." And surely it will, and surely it will. Um, or rather, it has. It is a pretty epic story when you think about the whole way that it worked out. That as we were, because we had left late, we were late enough to get the keys to this house at like in time to not have to like unpack and then repack, and then so we didn't have to double handle. Basically, we ended up going straight from the house, and as we were unloading there, we get the call that they have the keys for us. We should meet them at the house, and so we come through to the house. We unload once. We kept going until like, yeah, around 12ish, 1:30. The next morning, we were like moving stuff under. Epic story, right? Epic story, and that doesn't happen if those timelines aren't that close. That doesn't happen if everything just went smoothly. Then the extent of the story would be, I moved, I moved. Some things were heavy. Now we moved some things were heavy, like moving the fridge, and I'm like low down to the ground, and I'm literally just pulling lower back, and this thing shifts as if it's gonna fall that way. Mind you, this is probably, I'd say, 100 odd kgs. Maybe even if it's not, though, the shape of it is so awkward that it makes it really, really hard to handle. This thing shifting to one side, and I had to kind of, yeah, you know, I had to shift my own body weight. Mind you, I'm like an inch from the ground. My fingers are an inch from the ground. We're moving this thing downstairs. This is like a pair of stairs, and it starts shifting that way. I have to boom, boom, and you know. Um, yeah, and obviously, you know, dads will be dads. It's like, you're dropping, you're not lifting it. I'm like, bro, yo, I'm like, bro, I know that you don't know, but it's fine. 'Cause I didn't even say anything. I was just in that moment, like, yeah, I'm gonna just do what I have to do at this point. Because I really don't find use in, and I think it's a good quality to have as well, which is not to find use in complaint, because it goes into the main theme, right? Which is we're talking about how excuses don't matter and how results work out at the end of the day. And so, complaining, I think Alex Hormozy, who is someone who definitely advocates for, if you complain, then you're dead to me. If you're a complainer, then I just don't look at you the same, because I know that you could be doing so much more and you could be so much more, but because you'd rather have um, an excuse, reasons while the thing is happening, for you not executing the way that you're supposed to. If you're busy complaining about it, it's like, if you're complaining about something, then change it. If we can't change it, why are you complaining about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, complaining just doesn't really help in any way, shape, or form, regardless of what may be going on. Explaining reasons why, explaining, just explaining, explaining is futile, unless we're sharing information it's genuinely for the sake of understanding, and there's an action that will follow that will improve this whole thing. If you're explaining or complaining about a moment that has already passed, then you're just literally wasting both our time, our ears, our cognitive ability. Whereas we could be focused on what is to come, and we could be focused on what we're doing now, and make sure that we're executing that as best as possible, And so I suppose all of that is, yeah, all of that goes to say that at the end of the day, yeah, let's not confuse effort with results. It's great to give the effort. And I'm going to hit you with one last one before I close. So let's not confuse effort and results. It's great to give effort. It's wonderful to give effort. But at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the results. Because if you had done what was required, you would have gotten the result, period. Regardless, because your effort level may be an 8 and what's required is a 10. Gorgeous that you gave an 8, but there's more in you and you can get to that 10, and therefore you should, if you want to. If that's what you want for yourself, then you should push to get it there. And then the last thing is effort is applauded, but execution is worshipped. You come through, you do close to what it takes, you fall short, yay, effort. But execution, there's no there's no smiley faces and applause with that. Just bows. Just just giving it up to you, giving you the respect. Because why? You didn't make excuses, you didn't make complaints, you just got the result. Effort is applauded, execution is worshipped. Excuses don't matter, results do. I've been Sage, standing on business. Signing out.